Hey everybody, how's it going? Albert Hernandez, the Untamed Chef. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are doing French comfort food. It's going to be easy, beautiful, and it's going to taste so decadent that you're going to think you're in Lyon, France. So we're going to get started. First thing we're going to do, I want to get my pan on a nice medium heat. We're going to do a beautiful rack of lamb. And what I love about lamb, most people say it's the gaminess that throws them off. But the way I'm going to teach you to do it, I promise you're going to love this. So we're going to get our lamb. I'm going to put it on a plate. And we're going to put this spice on here. Amazing spice that's made in Fresno, California by master spice maker Joey Mila. I got my pan nice and hot. What we're going to do is use this fantastic Rosenthal's Olive Ranch Koroniki award-winning olive oil. I'm going to use about a tablespoon and a half. This is very important. We have to get this hot because when we put our lamb on, if we want it to get a nice crust, we've got to have that oil in there. So we're picking up our lamb now. And I can tell already by the way this is. And the way you can tell your oil's ready, it moves around really fast. So this is a cross between a fry and a saute. Whenever I do this, I push it away from myself, so nothing splashes against me. I'm going to get a little bit more of our garlicky garlic. We're going to put it right on the back side of the lamb. Just a little bit there. Put a nice basting spoon here. We're going to pick our lamb up a little bit and very carefully just throw this hot oil right over the top. And this is going to make sure that our product is going to get nice and crispy on both sides, and we're going to sear in that flavor. So you can take a look at this beautiful crust that we're building right here. This is very important, especially when we're cooking lamb, because we don't want the lamb to dry out. We got to lock in that flavor and get it into the oven as soon as we possibly can. Just going to grab my basting spoon again and try to get right in between these little cracks here of the lamb. So there we go. It's all nice and seared. It's ready to go. We can throw this into our 375-degree oven. 10 minutes, we should have a beautiful medium rare lamb. Take a look at this, everybody. Beautiful. It's crusted. Flavors are locked in, and that's what we want more than anything. But stay tuned. We're coming back right now with our delicious duck breast. I'm going to throw this in the oven real quick for 10 minutes, 375 degrees. Hey everybody, welcome back. Time for the duck. Untamed style. We're going to score it. We're going to cook it. It's going to taste absolutely delicious. And it just falls right apart in your mouth, which I absolutely adore good duck. So let me show you how to do it. When we score a duck, you ever played tic-tac-toe? Of course you have. We go right across the skin, almost tic-tac-toe style, all the way across. And what this is going to do is release the fats from the skin into our dish. The duck breast alone, the skin has enough fat in it already. We don't have to put no oil in this pan. Very easy. Clean our hands there. We're going to cook this down with our chipotle garlic seasoning. Like I said, cooking sensations, Fresno, California. They know what they're doing. I just play along. We have right here some butter from Organic Pastures Creamery in Fresno, California. This is a raw cultured butter. It's so delicious, you're going to love it. Goes right in the pan. Basting spoon, fresh thyme, fresh rosemary. We're just going to mix this around. We're going to bring our heat up a little bit, about a medium heat. And we're hearing this go, and what we're doing now is we're taking the natural fat out of the skin, mixing it with this nice raw butter. We're going to have an amazing flavor here. So like I did with the lamb, it's the same thing. We're going to baste. When we do this baste really fast. Really fast, very important, because we want to make sure that this product is getting covered. So here we are, we're basting this duck. Take a look how it's popping on the skin. We can hear our skin popping, now we see the flesh starting to pop right here. This is going to be so delicious, you guys are going to love it. And one more right over the top here. I'm going to go ahead and turn our duck around here. Take a look at that skin. That is what we want right there. That shows me something crispy, delicious. That is going to be one gorgeous duck right here. We're going to baste one more time on this other side. So now what we're doing is we're browning the butter. We're actually making the flavor enhance. We have a brown butter duck with fresh thyme and rosemary. We'll put a little bit more of our chipotle garlic seasoning here. And like I said, whenever we're doing this, just have fun with it. That's what Untamed is all about. We have fun when we cook. Take our duck off here. We'll put it onto a baking pan. So we're going to grab our duck now. We're going to put it in the oven, 375 degrees for 5 to 6 minutes, just like we did our lamb. Duck just went into the oven, lamb just came out. So we're going to start getting our sauces ready because we want to make sure that we have a good sauce to go with this food. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting my pan hot. The way I can tell is I just put my hand over. If you get that warm, nice sensation of the hand, you definitely know that the pan is hot. If I could go too close, it's very hot. So I'm just going to put that down to almost a whisper to nothing of a flame. We're going to start with a little bit of sugar. This is just some nice raw cane sugar. I say about a quarter of a cup. Raspberries. About a full cup of raspberries. You start to see as I mix this around here, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these raspberries to caramelize with the sugar. Then hit it with some of our amazing San Joaquin Wine Company's Valley Red Blend. This is going to be such an amazing duck sauce. You guys are going to love this. So really quick, like I said, we want this to come up right here. We want it to have that nice caramelization. We're going to hit it with some maple syrup. We're going to bring the heat up to medium because we want to get this to caramelize, but we don't want to kill it. Now what I do is I just use a regular bean smasher, potato smasher, whatever you want to call it, because I want this to be very rustic. I love the texture of seeds that we find in raspberries. And we're just giving this a nice push down. I've seen people blend this before. Personally, I don't like it. It gives texture to the duck. So crispy duck breast with a nice texture from those raspberry seeds, I adore it. The next thing I'm going to do here with our other pan, we are going to do a little bit of the Koroniki Rosenthal oil, rosemary and thyme. This is just in a small little saucepan. It tastes absolutely amazing. We've got a nice mix going here. Bring up the heat a little bit because we're going to start to reduce this down, turn it into a very thick syrup. This right here is a Rosenthal Olive Ranch Balsamic from Modena, Italy. Really good, really good. Organic Pastures Raw Butter. So like I said, what we're trying to do here, we're trying to work with this dish. I'm going to bring the heat up one more time. So we start to see all this caramelization happening. You got to be very careful because when we're caramelizing like this, it doesn't take long for this thing to go overboard. We don't want that to happen. We got some of our beautiful raw cream from Organic Pastures. And this is very important because like I said, the fact that it's raw cream, it's really good for you. But this cream is super unique. It's very thick. And we poured some already out here. A little bit of that for our lamb sauce. We're just going to bring that down. And I'll take a quick look at this right here. So like I said, Cream's in there, amazing. Raw organic cream from Organic Pastures Dairy, Fresno, California. They make such an amazing product, and it's the cows. It's the way they're treating the cows that is making it such a unique and amazing product. And what I love so much about this, take a look at this color, what we're trying to get here. This lamb, it deserves this unbelievable flavor. And this is just cream, butter, rosemary, thyme, and the Madonna, Italy balsamic from Rosenthal. So as we're starting to bring this down here, as we start to reduce, you can start to see really easily. This is getting very syrupy. This is what we need for the duck, and this is going to make the flavor of the duck actually pop. Now what I like about this is both these flavors are very similar, so we put them on the same plate. You have two different dishes, but both have equally the same components. Not really in texture, but the sweetness. We have the sweetness from the balsamic, the sweetness from the raspberry and the sugar. Now that we're coming up, a little bit more sugar goes in here. I can kill the heat here because this is going to thicken naturally on its own. And you can start to see how beautiful, how luscious this color really looks. On our crispy duck, this is absolutely going to pop, and this is really going to make everyone appreciate duck a little bit more. And you can start to see the flavors of this rosemary are starting to fall into our cream mixture with our balsamic from Madonna, Italy of Rosenthal Olive Ranch. I'm going to turn the heat down on that as well. So we're mixing them, we're stirring them, they're ready to go. We're going to get ready to put these aside. We're going to start the glazed carrots, and then we're going to plate this beautiful dish for everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to do the maple glazed carrots as promised, but I'm also going to add our blue cheese potatoes with caramelized onions. It's going to help all this food to pop. Boiling water, just get whole carrots. I'm going to put them in there for about 7 to 8 minutes. It doesn't take that long. We're going to grab these nice potatoes. Fingers are always back. Safety first is very important whenever we're doing this. Safety first. And when I know where my fingers are at all times, I don't even have to look at them anymore. I just know that I can talk to you and cut. So what I want to do is we're going to get our potatoes, we're going to get them cooking up, but while we're getting these cooking up, our carrots are going to be boiling, so we're going to multitask on this one here. It tastes really good when we get the contrast of the starch with the sweet vegetable, the bitterness from that blue cheese, and the caramelization from the onions is going to help all the food to really balance itself out when we put our duck and we put our lamb together. So I want to get these potatoes all ready, and we're going to plate this really nicely too, because like I said, we eat first with our eyes before we do with our mouth, and we want to make sure that the food looks good, tastes good, and it is good. We want to get them cut, get them ready. So take a look at what's happening with our carrots right here. Whenever we cook with any root vegetable, we always have to make sure it has to be on a good boiling water. If you take a look right here, this carrot's starting to float up a little bit. That means that it's getting cooked faster than it needs to, which we want it to because we want to go al dente as soon as we possibly can. So some of them are starting to float up a little bit here. We can just grab our tongs and you can start to see they're still a little bit woody, and that's okay because they're carrots. They're supposed to be. But they're getting close to where we want them to be. It takes about 7 to 8 minutes to get our carrots ready. Well, I got my potatoes ready. What we're going to do is get some of our Organic Pastures raw butter here. And we're going to get quite a bit of this because we need it for all these potatoes here. It doesn't take long to come up the heat, and that's what we want it to do. I'm going to bring our heat up on that right there. So our carrots are working up right here. Now what I'm going to do is this. Our potatoes, to speed up the process of what we're trying to do, if I put these in a pan, it's going to take like 25 to 30 minutes. In the same boiling water, these potatoes won't take me that long at all. And there's nothing wrong with mixing. Anybody ever have a stew before? You always mix carrots with potatoes and onions, and it always comes out really good, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. So we're just getting them all mixed up in there. It'll come right back up to a boil solid right now. As soon as it does, it's going to be ready. Take a look at our butter. Our butter's ready now, so we can start to add our onions. So what I love about Spanish onions, they're slightly sweeter. And personally for me, they don't give you as much tears as the purple and the white onions do. At least that's my own observation of it, as long as I've cooked with them. So when I'm cooking with the Spanish onion, all I did, we're going to do a julienne. There's two ways we could do a julienne cut. We could go slice right down the middle, really thin, and that works right there. Fingers are always back, as you guys can see. It's always practicing safety first. Or there's another way we could do this. We could just rough chop all the way through now. And when we do it like this, I mean, it still is julienne. However, this is a little bit more thin. This is more what we want to work with. They go in immediately, and you can start to hear that sizzle, and that's what we want to hear. And we're going to bring our heat down right here so we don't burn our onions. We have a boil going on now with our potatoes, and that's exactly what we want. I'm going to move all this over here. Our carrots are going to get ready to transfer over. And this doesn't take long to process. So why we're doing this is because we're trying to get the carrots. We want to have a little bit of color on our carrots. It's very important that we have color on the carrots. And all I do is I'm going to mix this around, turn the heat up, and I'm going to add more butter to this. Because the base of our flavor, it is butter. As you can see, I'm mixing my carrots around here. They're starting to take on that nice caramelized look. It's definitely got the flavor that we're looking for. What I like to do, and this is very important, whenever you're cooking with something with onions, if you really want to get that essence of onion, put it on top of your product, just like I'm doing right here. It goes right on the top, and what happens now, all that nice natural oil in the onion is starting to seep into those carrots. Take a look at the color right here. That's what we want right there. It's starting to get burned on. And it smells absolutely amazing in here. Now, I said they're maple carrots. The first thing we're going to do, cooking sensations, garlicky garlic. We definitely need to have this in there because we want to make sure our stuff is seasoned up and it looks really nice. Maple syrup. Now you can start to hear that, and that sounds good right there because that means now that we're caramelizing. That's what we needed to do so the carrots will start taking on that flavor. And all I'm doing now is just grabbing the onions that are full of that maple syrup. I'm putting them on top of the carrots. That way it's actually going to take in that maple flavor and that onion flavor at the same time. And this is what we really want right here, is to make sure that it's being coated. It's actually cooking now. So now that we've boiled our carrots, they're actually boiling in a maple syrup and butter sauce. And this is what we really want right here. I'm going to mix this over here. Oh, this looks fantastic. It smells so good. You can see the carrots are already al dente. I turn one over right now. You look at this right here. And it's starting to glaze on. You can start to see how it gets shiny. That means it's actually glazing onto our carrot. And that's what we want to have. Check my potatoes real quick. Potatoes still got a little bit more time. Nothing wrong with that. Take a look at this. You could smell it. Sweet, savory. The earthiness of these carrots is absolutely going to pop with flavor. So now our carrots, they look about ready to go. I'm just bringing this down. We do not want to move the pan anymore. If we move the pan anymore, we risk breaking the carrots. We don't want to break them already. I broke a couple of them already. It's okay. They're going to break in your stomach anyways. We got our plate now. We're just going to put them on there. Oh, these look gorgeous. Glazed carrots, and this is such a simple way to glaze carrots. There's so many ways you can do it. I've seen people do the vichy carrots where they cook them down in the water with sugar. That takes too long for me, and I don't like that. But when I do them like this, I get an amazing flavor, I get an amazing texture, and I just get something that screams France, and it screams comfort food to me, and that's very important. We'll put these aside. Alrighty, so we're checking our potatoes real quick here. And the way we check them is just using a knife. I just want to try to stab through. If I could stab through and it comes right out, just like it did, guess what? They're done. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the pan we did our maple carrots in. We're just going to clean it. And it comes right off because all it is syrup and sugar. It'll come right off like it is. And what we're going to do is actually cook our potatoes in the same pan. That way we have one less dish to do, so why not? Using our Koroniki olive oil, we're going to just put about 2 tablespoons in here, because what we want to do is have a nice sear on the potato. Black pepper. Want this pan to get hot. Now, you gotta be very careful when you do this, because what we're gonna do is take this hot product and put it right into this hot pan. You have to be very, very careful because this is gonna pop. So what I'm gonna do is grab some potatoes. I'm gonna start putting it in there. You can start to see already. It goes really fast. We don't want to get burned. We have a lot of flavors going already, so all I want to do is just put pepper on these potatoes, because we're going to have a nice blue cheese that has a really good salt on it that we're going to finish with right now. A little bit more and we're all done here. Alright, that looks good. Let's move this out of the way here. So our potatoes right now, you start to see this little crust that's filming around there, and that actually is showing that our done potatoes, they're getting that crust on there from the oil, and this changes the texture of what we're doing. A little bit more pepper here, a little bit of our Cooking Sensations garlicky garlic. This is very good stuff. It's got enough salt in there to balance everything out too. We're going to put another spoon of our organic pastures raw butter in there, because butter should be called better. I absolutely love butter. Flavors look amazing. Take a look at this. How gorgeous are those? Fully cooked, fully ready to go. We're just building a little bit more crust on there. Now stay tuned. I'm going to plate all this up with our carrots, our lamb, and our duck coming at you right now. Welcome back, everybody. Like I said, time to close with a bang, Untamed style. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you real quick our beautiful rack of lamb, roasted, delicious. This is unbelievable. The flavor is so unique. We're going to split this one right down the middle here. Beautiful medium rare. Take a look at that. That is exactly what we want. We're going to lay it right down over here. Its twin counterpart right over the top, just like this. This is going to be a fun little festive dish. This is definitely family style. Got our beautiful duck right here. Absolutely gorgeous. Crispy skin, nice and soft. We're going to shingle our duck right across the way here. It's very important, like I said, keep those fingers back. So our duck is nice and shingled. That lays right over the top. Put our rosemary right on the top of that. There goes our thyme. That looks beautiful. Potatoes, we cooked them in the same pan that we did our carrots. They're gorgeous, they're roasted, and this is what we want right here. That could go right in the center. Very, very nice. And the crispier, the better. Get our blue cheese. This is Bravo Creamy Blue. Just gonna put a little bit right over the top here. This will just melt right onto our potatoes. Nice texture, nice flavor, very bitter, but it balances out good with the sweetness we're gonna put on this duck right now. Got our glazed maple carrots. These are absolutely to die for. We're gonna put them right over the top in between. Want to come back here, get our caramelized onions and our good maple stuff right here. Take a look at that. This is French comfort food at its best, everybody. As you can see, it doesn't take long. It doesn't take much to do this. It just takes a good teacher and some good listeners. So here we go. This is our beautiful balsamic sauce that we did for our lamb. And I like to just have fun with this, like I said. It goes right over the top. It's creamy. And it's that amazing Rosenthal balsamic. It doesn't get any better than this. Here we have our raspberry compote we did with our San Joaquin red wine. We'll put this right on the side of our duck here. This is my take right here on French comfort food. This is Untamed. This is unreal. Take a look at how beautiful this is right here. Thank you so much for coming into my kitchen. We had a lot of fun. I'm Albert J. Hernandez. You can call me the Untamed Chef.